Understanding the nature of unconditional love. Every single one of us wants to live life well. We'd like to think we've left this world a better place because of our having lived in it. Teachers, in particular, have the opportunity to leave an incredible legacy. We can make a huge, positive difference for good in the lives of young people. In order to make that difference, one of the first things we must do is to establish an emotional climate for teaching. The key element is a caring relationship between the student and the teacher. You can be the world's greatest expert on a given subject, math, English, history, geography, or whatever, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be a great teacher. Kids are much more likely to listen to you and absorb what you have to teach if they feel like you care about them. Great teachers are intentional about creating a nurturing classroom environment where optimal learning can take place. And the best tool for creating such an environment is unconditional love. Unconditional love in the classroom doesn't just happen. It involves making a conscious decision to love kids no matter what. It doesn't mean that we allow students to misbehave. What it means is that we learn to discipline their behavior while still respecting them and valuing them as persons. In order to create this sort of a nurturing classroom environment, it's important that we understand the components of unconditional love. Unconditional love simply means that we separate the person from the behavior, and that we love kids for who they are rather than for what they do. That sort of love can create miracles in the classroom, on the athletic field, in the band hall, in the cafeteria, and any place where we teachers have contact with students. Kids will work hard for a teacher or a coach that they feel cares about them. They will cooperate better, misbehave less, and be much less likely to drop out of school. A second element of unconditional love, and something that we need to be really clear about, is that it is not permissive. Unconditional love requires that we call young people to a sense of responsibility. Kids who are allowed to run wild do not feel loved. They may say they like it, but inwardly, they feel that the adults around them simply don't care. Caring teachers establish reasonable rules and guidelines for appropriate classroom behavior. And when kids break the rules, they have age-appropriate consequences at the ready that allow a child to learn from her mistakes and to take greater responsibility for her behavior in the future. That's one of the tasks of unconditional love. Howard Hendricks, in his book, Teaching to Change Lives, states that maximum learning is always the result of maximum involvement. In order to elicit the maximum involvement of students in the classroom, teachers must establish an atmosphere in which students feel wanted and accepted. When that is accomplished, studies have shown that students learn more, like school better, like each other better, like their teachers better, and like themselves better. No other profession offers a better opportunity to make a real difference in this world than does teaching. To be really good at it, we'll need to be intentional about creating a nurturing classroom environment. And the key ingredient of a nurturing classroom environment is unconditional love. Here are the things to remember about understanding the nature of unconditional love. Unconditional love in the classroom doesn't just happen. It requires teachers to make a conscious decision to love kids no matter what. Unconditional love separates the person from the behavior and values a student for who he is rather than for what he does. Unconditional love is not permissive. It calls students to a sense of responsibility.